Hey, I'm Mike Davis, and I wanted to talk to you about something with aliens and something that a lot of people don't even really think of or even realize that it's real and going on. Is Jesus. I've seen Jesus a few times, quite a few times actually. A few particular times I want to discuss right now. One of the times when I was aboard a craft, there were the gray aliens, the blue beings, and other beings, and in the midst of the other beings were, was Jesus. Okay, and I don't know how else to say it, but it was Jesus. He was on a craft. I know that sounds far out in space. Wow, man, Jesus is on a craft. Wow, man. No, but I'm being real here because this is what's happened to me in my life, and it made no sense. And actually, why I would see Jesus with these beings. First of all, I didn't even know what these beings were at the time, and I was terrified of them, to be honest. And seeing Jesus there, it even made it even more bizarre. It's like, why is he amongst these things that are taking me and doing what they're doing with me? Well, there are a lot of reasons why they're doing the things that they do. They have to. They populate other worlds and what have you, and this is how they do it. They take DNA, they take biological matter from other humans here on this planet Earth, and basically use it to repopulate. Okay, now getting to the point of Jesus, because that's what I really want to talk about right now. We can talk about this other stuff another time, but right now, Jesus being on a craft. Okay, it freaked me out. Okay, and my mom, when I told her about this afterwards, she says, you should start reading the Bible, Michael. She was raised Catholic, and she says you should start really studying, because there's a lot of things going on in the Bible that really links to what you're talking about with these beings. And she had experiences herself. As a matter of fact, she had experiences of being aboard a craft when she got pregnant with me. So, and it caused a big ripple because in their life, my dad and my mom's life, because they were Catholic and they were abstaining at the time, and how she got pregnant, my dad was like mystified, but she got pregnant on a craft, and she says that it was very uncomfortable, and she says very shortly after she was pregnant, and so that's basically what she says, and that told me to study these scriptures. So let's go on to here. Okay, when you go to certain chapters of the Bible, you'll see definite links to I don't want to preach the Bible here, because that's not my job here to preach the Bible. My Bible is to enlighten people of the fact that this has been going on for eons. Okay, we're going to go to a certain Bible part of the Bible. It's called Acts 11, and basically this is Acts 11. It looks like 4. My vision's not the best. 4 through 8, 9, 10, 4 through 10. It says, then Peter was on this housetop and he was praying. Okay, and he got hungry. And then Peter told them the whole story. One day in Joppa, he said, while I was praying, I saw a vision, a huge sheet let down by its four corners from the sky. Inside the sheet were all sorts of animals, reptiles, birds, where we were not to eat. He heard a voice say, kill and eat whatever you wish. Never, Lord, I replied, for I never have yet eaten anything forbidden by our Jewish laws. But the voice came again, don't say it isn't right when God declares it is. This happened 3 times before the sheet, and it certain disappeared in heaven. Okay, so this thing comes down, lets off food, and God's telling Peter to eat this stuff. Okay, so there's a mix of God, Jesus, or whatever you want to say, religion, and aliens right there. It's all over in this book. If you take your time and read through the scriptures like I did, you'll find it everywhere in there. Okay, now what I want to talk about is another specific point in the Bible. This isn't Bible study or preaching. I'm trying to share certain things that are going on in there that definitely proves the existence, or it reinforces the existence of Jesus and these beings being together and what have you. Okay, in Revelations 22, there's a vessel that descends out of the skies, and this is in the end of the Bible. It's the last, like right down to the last book of the Bible, And this vessel's 1,500 miles square. As a matter of fact, it's the shape of a cube, and it descends out of the heavens, and it flashes and glows, and lightning's peeling off the side of it. And of course, lightning would be peeling off the side of something like this big, coming down out of the skies, because, well, it's big, and it's ripping through the atmosphere. At 1,500 square miles is in shape of a cube coming through our atmospheric. It would just cause all this lightning and all this disturbances. As a matter of fact, wherever it landed, it would cause disturbances. No matter where it was, you would be visible pretty much, unless you're on the flip side of the planet. You wouldn't see it, but you'd see the atmospheric disturbances. So this is in Revelations. Well, actually, it's in 20. It starts in 21, goes to 22. I'm not going to read all of it, okay? But that's what I wanted to get to. Is there's another mention of Jesus coming down in a vessel, okay? And the angels are with him. These angels. Now, you got to remember, like in my pictures that I've shown, there was Jesus, and the angels are there too. Just because they're blue beings, they're not exactly what you'd consider an angel with the wings on it, and they have the power of flight because they can levitate and do a lot of things. So these blue beings, the gray beings, all these different beings that I've been seeing and been with in my life, my mom had been with, they're very real. And basically what's going on is these people back in those days in scriptures had been seeing these beings, and I guess referring to them as angels, okay? Or, yeah, angels. And that would be the best recollection that you could have on something like that, is that they are from God, because they certainly didn't come from humans, right? Humans don't give birth to blue babies unless they're stillbirth. I mean, generally they don't give birth to blue babies in these different colored beings and different styles and with weird ears and all this stuff. So they're very real. They're coming from other solar systems, other galaxies. They're traveling here and they're visiting here, and they're all, a lot of them, many of them are, well, preaching the word. They're kind of like, well, what are you going to call ministers of the word, and helping guide people to God, doing the bidding of God and things like that. Well, we must remember that there's two sides of this coin, that there's also evil on the other side of this coin. I hate to say that, but it's there, okay? Some people call it Satan, some people call it whatever you want, but a yin and yang, okay? It's a twist of whatever. There's good and bad. So on the other side are some, well, entities, beings, the same type of a little beings that are coming down out of the skies, that are equally as amazing, but don't have very good ideas in their mind of what they want to do with humans. We've all heard the horror stories. We watched movies where they depict it to be real stories, the terrible things that have happened to people. I'm not going to say anyone's in particular. But this is very real, and these beings are affiliated with the Creator, because there's one, and I don't want you to picture as God as a man with a white hair and a beard, because it's a fairy tale, okay? The God factor is basically an entity that's producing and creating that's creating these explosions, making things happen, and it's particles and energy particles colliding together. And I don't want to say everybody's going to hell or anything like that, because I don't want to go there with this. This is not what I'm about here. I'm about showing the truth about what's really going on around us, because so many people have wondered for so many years what's actually going on, and they all sum it up in, well, this book, and you can't do it. You can't sum it up in books, religious books, because there's just too much that isn't in those books. So me seeing Jesus on a craft isn't so outlandish. Jesus was a real character. He was murdered here on this planet, and, well, they took DNA of Jesus and they reproduced him. He didn't die. They recreated. Okay, it's the same being that's been being recreated from his DNA. As a matter of fact, if you think about Virgin Mary, she was maybe she was a virgin, but she was implanted with this biological matter to have this child. So yeah, they shadowed down upon her and made her in Cynthia, or pregnant, and then she gave birth to this child that nobody understood. Okay, I want to stop there, because I'm giving too much information at once. I don't want to do that when people have a chance to really digest what I'm saying. So this God factor, that's what I want to call it, the God factor. It's not some man with the beard, and it could be anything it wants to, I suppose, but it's not what the God factor is. The God factor is the power in the entity that is basically a force in nature, a force in space. It's the part of the space-time continuum. It handles everything. Okay, basically it's the energy holding it all together, this mass. And someday people predict that this mass is going to go away, and basically, well, we don't know what's going to happen then. Okay, but I wanted to share that. That's why I have had meetings with Christ on a craft, because that's possible, because it actually happened. Okay, because they inseminated my mom, which is, I'm not the only one. There's other people on this earth have had the same experiences. A lot of other people have the same experiences, and people just say they're nuts when they talk about it. But that's what happened in my mom's case. Okay, it caused quite a problem in our family, and I wanted to share that for now. I'll come back later with more. Thank you for watching.